Okay, check the recording. I'm recording. You're recording. Are you recording?
I'm recording.
Right, check the recording. Right, fourth time lucky. Here we go. Welcome to another episode of Living Too Late. My name's Ollie Smith. Over there is my studio mate, Mark Elliott Smith. Hello, Mark.
Aha! Here we are. It's not to Ellen Partridge, is it?
It was a bit.
So, welcome to another episode. Here we are, back in the studio.
Yeah. In this episode, we're going to talk about a recent trip to a local art gallery in the Somerset Fields, which was Hauser Wirth. What did you think of the day out there, Mark?
I enjoyed it. I'm glad that we stopped for the beer afterwards.
Yeah, beer was essential after the frustrating gallery experience.
Yeah. Just to kind of re-lubricate the brain cells a bit, you know. Yeah. As I was saying, I think it's great that a big gallery like that has a base out there in Bruton, you know, in the countryside.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because what it's doing is it's taking contemporary art out of the confines of London or Manchester, where, you know, that sort of
like any
city.
Major big city.
And and I think that's important, you know, taking contemporary artwork further afield, literally, in this sense.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention some of their locations. I mean, and I'm quite surprised to find them actually having a venue in Southampton. It's not a major metropolis, is it?
No.
Southampton.
No. That's interesting, isn't it?
I mean, look at the addresses. I'll just give you some of these. New York, 22nd Street, New York, 69th Street. And then you go Southampton.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Downtown Los Angeles.
Wow.
West Hollywood. London. And then Somerset. And then you go Switzerland.
Yeah.
Spain, and then they're all over Switzerland. They got gallery after gallery after gallery, and it's just like they've made such a success about having the first gallery. Their first gallery was in Zurich, by the way, and they have one gallery in the basement. I think it was on the ground floor of an apartment building. One gallery in Zurich, and they've grown this big out of that one gallery.
That's pretty incredible.
It's incredible.
It's. I'm sure they must have been very fortunate with their contacts.
Oh yeah,
to build something up like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll read a little bit about Hauser Wirth during the episode, but it sort of gives you an idea that yes, they've got some benefactors. That kind of contributed towards establishing this global gallery network.
Yeah, you know,
they're in. I didn't finish though. They're in Monaco. They're in Hong Kong.
Oh, great. Okay. Nice.
I wonder why they're not in Japan, or I guess Japan's kind of like, it's hard to break into somewhere like Japan.
Yes.
And I'd also say the same about China. But
it's a whole nother world, isn't it? I think
it's
in a way.
it's you know, they're quite closed in their own ways to certain things. Anyway, before we get into it, I just wanted to introduce it. What I'd say in this intro is that we actually, even though we enjoyed the trip to Hauser Wirth and we respect and love them for it. Don't know, I've gone a bit too far there, Mark.
I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, we respect and we love having the gallery in that location,
absolutely,
close to us.
Yes. And
we don't have to make trips to London. But we found it a little bit frustrating. The experience.
This particular occasion was quite a challenge.
Yeah.
In some ways, I guess.
That's a good way to put it. It was a challenge.
Yeah.
So I think we get on with the intro, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, Mark, let's get to it. So I've got a little bit to read about Hauser Wirth.
Right.
Can you see that on your screen?
Yes.
About.
Yep.
The About page.
Yep.
So I just want to read this because it's kind of interesting. There's a lot to read. I won't read it all, but it says here, Hauser Wirth was founded in 1992 in Zurich by Ewan, sorry about if I got the name wrong, Ewan Wirth, Manula Wirth, and Ursula Hauser, who were joined in 2000 by partner and President Mark Payot and CEO Ewan. That's not Ewan, is it? Is that Ewan?
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
That's Ewan Venters in 2020. A family business with a global outlook, Hauser & Wirth has expanded over the past 30 years to include outposts in Hong Kong, London, New York, Southampton, Los Angeles, Somerset, Menorca. Oh, right, I missed that one. Monaco, Zurich, Stade, and St. Moritz.
Okay.
The gallery represents over 90 artists. See, I said 90 artists earlier. I was like, it's not 90 artists, is it? That's 90. A lot of artists.
Yeah. So hang on, let me just get this through my head a minute. So
yep.
So is this 90 gallery? 90 artists. That they're representing in each of these locations.
No, total.
Right, a total of 90
artists that are always showing
at each of these different locations.
Yeah.
Right.
So 90 artists and estates who have been instrumental in shaping its identity and who are the inspiration for Hauser & Wirth's diverse range of activities that engage with art, education, conservation and sustainability. Hauser & Wirth have built a reputation for its dedication to artists and support of visionary artistic projects worldwide. I mean, it's good. It's good, right?
Yeah.
It's really good. And they've got,
it's good. It's culture, isn't it? This is the thing.
Yeah, and apart from the amazing restaurant at Hauser & Wirth that we can't afford to eat at, they've got a very nice educational studio, which is, the ones in the front garden that are off to the side. We went in there and they've got like
that's right.
a room with a video playing.
Yeah.
That's kind of a really nice touch because it's kind of like it's a very educational thing, because I got more out of that room than I did out of the exhibition.
Right.
Because in that room they had a documentary. We'll talk about the artwork later, but they had a documentary in there with one of the inspirations for the exhibition.
Yep.
And I thought that was much more moving than the work itself.
Right. That's interesting, yeah.
Right.
Now, I know some galleries, they put the film with the work sort of in the same room.
Yes.
But
they at Hauser & Wirth in Somerset, they've got it off to one.
Yeah, that particular... with that thing anyway,
they've segregated it off to one side. And it's almost like it's there if you're seeking more.
Yeah.
In a way.
In a way, yeah.
I quite like it anyway. I think in some ways the video of the documented supporting work of, it's not the documentation of the artist making the work, but it's the source, the documentation of the source. And I think that then informs the work better, and it should be in the gallery space. Am I right?
I'm
right.
Would probably agree.
You better agree.
Well, that's kind of,
No, it's up to you. No,
it's
fine. It's fine. I'm kidding.
But you go to gallery, like I was saying, I'm used to seeing something like that more with the work, in the space, a film that has connections with the work.
Yeah.
But I guess like you say, maybe because of that particular space they have there being more of a sort of educational part of their gallery system.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that it's where it is, but it would help more the visitor
possibly
if it was in the actual gallery.
Probably, well, for the common man, I guess.
even for the highly educated man.
Well, maybe yeah.
Even the highly educated fine artist man that's got, I mean, I spent 8 years in university.
Yeah.
I mean, plus, I got qualifications coming out of my backside to do with fine art, and I still struggled. I mean, we both struggled
Well, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, very much, yeah.
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 Sorry, I don't mean to get too aggressive.
No,
It's the
fine.
alcohol. It's the alcohol. It's like we should be smoking rather than drinking, but it's not. It's not legal in the UK, sadly. Anyway, so I was reading. Let's have a look. Where did I get to, Mark? I was on that page. Can you still see it?
Yeah. So, hang on, where are we?
Earliest days.
I think we read the first paragraph and then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Worldwide. I got to worldwide. In
Worldwide.
addition to presenting a dynamic schedule of exhibitions and gallery collaborations with renowned curators to present museum quality surveys and invest considerable resources in new scholarship and research.
Yes.
Since its earliest days, the gallery has mounted historically significant exhibitions. Okay. I haven't been to many Hauser and Wirths, have you?
Unfortunately not. I'd like to go to more.
I would like to go to the one in New York.
Oh,
right.
Well,
that's on the bucket list.
Yeah,
Let's make a bucket list.
There's a lot I'd love to see in New York, but
did they say Monaco? There's one in Monaco. Let's go to Monaco.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I want to go to all of these. I want to go to all. That's my bucket list. Go to all the Hauser and Wirths in the world.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, you do that. You can be the number one fan. I mean,
yep. Yep. Why not?
Might even get an invitation to go and do a talk with them or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at you, Wirths. Right. So the inaugural exhibition in 1992 took place at Hauser and Wirth's first gallery, located in the first floor apartment of an Art Deco villa in the heart of Zurich. It united mobiles and gouaches of Alexandra Calder. Do you know him?
Oh yes, I do. Calder, yeah.
Do you really?
I really like his stuff, actually.
No, really?
Yeah. Well, he's.
I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, no. He's done. I'm
gonna look it up.
I like his
quickly.
sculptural work. So they're like. I don't know if
up.
mobiles is the right word.
Oh right.
Not.
Oh yeah.
So that's right.
Yeah,
I did actually go and see that work at Bruton.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. This was like 5 or 6 years ago now, I think.
Okay.
But I really liked it. Yeah. I really like that stuff. Okay.
I'm impressed, Mark. You've impressed
minimal, abstract. Sculpture.
Yep. It's not my sort of thing, but
right.
Okay.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Done.
Yeah.
Very nice. Alexandra Calder with sculptures and paintings by Joan Miro.
And then another one, one of my favourite number one artists.
Is it really?
Yeah. Love Miro. Yeah.
Get out of town.
No. In fact, his work is very. You can see. I can see a lot of my own work in his, or his work in mine, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Elements of it anyway, So again, an artist that I've always enjoyed. Yeah.
Yeah, Spanish painter, sculptor, ceramicist. What else do you want to know about him? That's enough.
Yeah,
but
actually, I was going to say, I won't get too far off track, but when I had that little exhibition at Adam Gallery last year, they actually put a few
Adam Gallery's gallery in Bath, by the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But that was they put some Miro next to.
Oh, did they?
Just some small.
Oh, that really
original works.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So that was great. I thought, wow,
that's really
nice thought for them to do that. So
yeah. Did you mention that to them?
I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. I should have.
Yeah.
And I might still, in fact.
Yeah, it would have been nice to say to them, that you recognised.
No, I think I did actually, but
okay,
I think I did, but maybe I didn't make such a thing of it. I didn't communicate with them enough of
you don't want to
how the work resonated.
Okay.
one another, but obviously it does, and
Yeah.
So,
Your work looked great in there, by the way.
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was a nice exhibition. It was surprisingly. I mean, I don't want to ruin it, but
No.
it was surprisingly quiet.
Very quiet
for a gallery on the high street of
very quiet.
Bath.
Yeah,
and why don't people come into those galleries like that on a Saturday afternoon?
Got no idea.
I don't get it. Go into the galleries on a Saturday afternoon if they're open. God damn it.
Well,
Anyway, where did I get to? Okay, since then the gallery has continued to forge an academically rigorous, ambitious program of historic.
sorry, I'm still on the screen of Miro at the moment.
Oh, it's lost. It does that. It loses its connection. I'll try and update it in a minute if I get a moment.
That's fine.
when we're
can
talking
hear anyway. So
yeah, have a listen and then I'll try and update the connection. But yeah, listen to this for English literature. There's somebody writing this. Listen, academically rigorous, ambitious program of historic exhibitions providing a natural home for a number of major 20th century European and American artists' estates, and encouraging a continued and engaging discourse around their oeuvres. Oeuvres. That's a weird word, isn't it? Oeuvres.
what is that?
Oeuvre.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like thing.
Right.
Stuff.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get the idea, I think. Yeah.
These include Louise Bourgeois.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a big, I like her work.
I'm
quite a big fan of hers. I mean, I like her work. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The estate of Philippe Gaston, not sure who that is.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, interesting work, yeah.
Right,
20th century now, sort of mid to... Am I right? Sort of mid-20... Oh, God, I can't actually... I'm pretty sure it was mid-20... Sort of round the mid sort of 20th century.
Yeah,
my memory's a bit foggy.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yes, you're right.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Well done. Top marks for art history. Well done.
Wow, surprising.
The Eva Hess Estate, Alan Caprow Estate, Mike Kelly Foundation for the Arts. Now, Mike Kelly Foundation for the Arts, I looked this up. Mike Kelly Foundation for the Arts, if you are a Los Angelian, is that how you say people from Los Angeles? Los Angelian. I'm going to say yes.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. If you're a Los Angelian, it's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Then he offers, their foundation offers between $10,000 and $30,000 as grants for artists.
Individual artists?
Yeah. Check it out.
Well, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Are you from Los Angeles? Yep. Yeah. Just put on your best American accent. Right. The estate of Jason Rose, Data Roth Estate, and blah, 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 blah. So basically, I don't want to go on too long about the history of Hauser and Wirth. But it looks like, they've had an incredible, amazing, crazy life in the art world.
Yeah.
And
good for them.
Good for them.
That's great.
Good for them. And we do love, in a way, we love having Hauser and Wirth in Somerset.
Yeah. It's free to get into.
And it's free to get into. And they don't mind you taking photographs or video.
No, exactly.
Which is incredible.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. And the reception, very professional.
Yep.
And I bothered the young lady there for some PDFs, and she helped me scan some QR codes. I got PDFs on the computer here. Right. I wonder if I can connect this, Mark. So I'll try and reconnect you so you can see what I'm looking at. But let's get on to the exhibitions. So,
all right. This is the difficult bit.
Yeah, okay. Because it's been bothering us for days, right?
Yeah.
I mean, can you put your finger on why it's bothering you? Do you want to share that with everyone? Have another sip of Doom Bar. Have another sip of Doom. and then tell us about your experience, because
Okay, so yeah, it was. I mean, they don't always from the shows I have seen there present exhibitions this way, but I think this particular one was very conceptual in that sense, wasn't it? It was a very analytical, left brain way of looking at work and understanding it. It's more of a mind and art connection than a heart and art connection. Does that make sense?
I like that, Mark.
Yeah.
Well done. No, I like that.
Right.
Well put. And what we say, I just want to say one thing about the artists out there that say, well, all art is conceptual. I get yes, but what we're talking about is an overly conceptual base and not something that is kind of you connect with on a holistically. Can I say that? I'm trying to say, like, it's. I mean, it's work that is. You need to know a lot about the purpose of the work to understand the work. Is that right? Is that fair?
The purpose of the work.
Like I didn't. They had a very good how do you say that? Invigilator.
Yeah.
So they had a very good invigilator. He was very friendly.
Yes.
I think he liked me. I was a bit worried. I was trying to. I don't wear a wedding ring, but
he might have just been bored.
He might have just been really bored, or he might have just loved engaging with other people.
Yeah, he probably does. Yeah.
Almost the opposite of me.
He'd probably been sat there for 3 hours and not spoken to anyone. So. Yeah.
So he was very nice, and thank you, sir, for guiding us around the exhibition. He was very, very nice about the exhibition. But I didn't really. One thing we should probably tell everyone which artists we saw.
Okay.
So we went round the gallery backwards by mistake. We went went in the exit.
Yeah.
And we didn't realise that it was. And I, to be honest, every time I've been to Hauser Wirth, that's the way I go in, because it's the reception.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably.
Isn't it back to front? Have you noticed that about Hauser Wirth? Isn't it back to front? What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to reception and turn left.
All right.
And go through the textiles exhibition and then get to the end of it.
Oh, right.
Go out of that door and then through the front.
How we missed it.
We missed it totally. We walked past it.
Bizarre.
That's because we both needed the loo.
That explains it.
We both walked.
There you go.
We both walked to the toilets, came out of the toilets, and walked in the first gallery. Yeah. But the thing is, what would the back of the gallery be? Friggin' toilets. Of course it is.
Of course, yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You get
that
through
sense,
looking at, spending a lot of time in the gallery, looking at all that art, and then after looking at all that art, you need to go to the toilet.
How silly of us, I mean, to have been oblivious to that, to that layout.
But that's.
Well, nature called. Nature calls. What can you do?
You can't ignore nature.
This is it. So
can't ignore nature, especially in the 21st century.
No.
Or 22nd century.
Well, if there's any nature left by then, let's hope so.
God's sakes.
Yeah.
So we went in the wrong way round, and we immediately walked into the Rodney Graham exhibition.
Yes.
Can you see my screen now?
I reconnected. Yeah, that's right.
Is it moving around?
It is.
Cool.
Yep.
Right. So
there he is in a boat, enjoying a nice day out.
Yeah, so Rodney Graham is a multidisciplinary artist that makes art.
I did actually see... Sorry, I don't know what happened to my voice there. I did actually see that he's done a lot of abstract work too, which is really, quite interesting.
Yeah.
So, and I think that thing about... in the what did we say what we're going to call it? Synopsis.
Synopsis of blurb. Blurb synopsis. No, synopsis blurb.
Yeah, it said about him reinventing himself
Over and over again.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
So
It did.
I guess
Well done.
that comes through in the actual the actual the new work, whether that's painting or in this case he had these big photographic
light boxes.
that's
boxes. Right. Sorry.
Light boxes with huge light boxes.
Huge, very well made light boxes.
They were very well made and with photographic
prints. They're prints. They're slide. It's like slide material. It's like making an extremely large slide, but they are photographic.
Incredible
prints.
detail on them.
Oh yes.
So
we were informed of their how they were made. They were actually made up of hundreds and hundreds of photographs, which gave them an super detailed resolution.
Almost. Yeah,
like hyper real.
That's it. That sort of hyper real effect. Which and it did look hyper real.
They were.
It was pretty incredible.
They were impressive.
They were. I mean, I know that there's quite a large conceptual element to these images, but and I think if you get that, and if you're if that's what really speaks to you is that conceptual sort of understanding, then that's fair enough. And it's not just these works, but it's anything that has a strong sort of conceptual basis. But the imagery itself, even if it's really well done, is it likable? I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. See. I don't want to say it's not because I don't want to be, he's a successful artist, but personally, that's not that doesn't captivate me.
Yeah.
Am I right to say that?
Yeah.
The actual, the subject of the imagery, a bridge, an old rusty bridge, him that's in a boat. I mean,
it's not about that though, is it?
No,
it's not about.
It's not so much about the image, is it? But
what it's about it's the image, but it's what he is presenting to you.
Yeah,
it doesn't. But he's presenting it in such a. I mean, light boxes are seductive.
Yes,
they are a seductive material, and you look at them and you go, "Wow!"
Oh yeah. I mean, and technically beautifully done.
But if you think about what he's doing there, he's got a contrast between this wowness of these light boxes, and the almost mundaneness of the picture.
Yes,
But they don't mention that at all in the synopsis blurb. They actually mention that it's he's reproducing a fictional self-portrait of himself in multiple roles.
Right.
Doesn't say anything about this dichotomy between luscious quality and mundane banality.
Yeah.
They don't make that association at all. So I mean,
does it say anything else here?
Well, I guess we could read it. Getting it together in the country is the name of the exhibition. The artist was developing the exhibition prior to his passing in October 2022. I did not know that. That's sad.
It is.
With the title taking its name from Graham's 2000 LP. Was that a music LP featuring improvised guitar?
Yeah.
Recordings.
Yeah, that's right. I did read actually that he.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So music was a vital and constant theme in Graham's life, including live performances at many of Hauser Wirth occasions. Such as the 2014 inauguration festivities in Somerset. I missed that one. I heard about a party back then in 2014 at Hauser Wirth. Isn't that? I heard the remnants of ripples of the party.
So it was
I remember hearing that.
I don't know. I mean, I had some other stuff going on that year, So
yeah, sorry.
I don't know. I might not have been there. I mean,
so Hauser and Wirth's garden, which is lacking sculpture, by the way.
Yeah, at the moment.
At the moment, at the end of their garden, they've got a building structure which has got a very large bar, and I think they get people performing up there, and when they have a private view and open exhibition, they have a little bit of a party.
Yeah.
But I heard about. I'm sure I heard about that exhibition party,
right?
Inauguration festivities. So, in dialogue with the rural gallery setting, the exhibition will open with Graham's major late body of work, The Four Seasons, created between 2011 and 2013. The landmark Lightbox series evolved organically. That means to say it wasn't really planned, was it? He just didn't know what he was doing, and is dedicated to the nature's cycle through meticulously staged mise-en-scene. Okay. I respect that. Reflecting a moment of pause and desire to step out of the daily grind. So it's kind of like, yes, but it's not, is it? Anyway, it's kind of like a staging and a suggestion of a pause to step out of the daily grind. It's not. You don't step out of the daily grind by completely stopping work and just staring off into the distance, or do you? I don't. Do you ever stop? I never stop.
Really?
I never stop. I'm always going. I stop doing one thing to do another thing.
Oh, right.
I never. Do you ever stop and just like stare off into nothing?
I do. I must admit.
But are you doing anything else at all? Are you drinking a cup of tea? I bet you are. I bet you can't.
Possibly. Yeah.
Can you? Do you stop and do nothing though? I'm getting a bit fixated on this. So we have to move on.
I mean, I think people should stop and do nothing anyway, more than they are. Do you know what I mean? I think it's
absolutely.
quite a healthy thing to do.
A bit of meditation.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. So he's got a photograph. Is this still connected, Mark?
Yeah.
So he's got a photograph of him propped up sitting against a tree, and he's having a break.
And it looks to me like he's a chef. So he's been working in the kitchen, and he's come out.
Now he's in the garden.
Yeah.
And he's having a cigarette.
Relaxing.
I'm not joking. Where was I? I was driving into Bath, and at the bottom of town, where I come in, there's all like the train track arches and a very large roundabout, and next to the bus station there is a Asian restaurant, and they sell like soup noodles.
Oh, nice.
Have you eaten there?
No.
It's very good. Okay,
I can imagine. I like ramen and that sort of thing.
It's not quite ramen. It's like a Chinese version of ramen, but it's very good.
Sounds amazing. Yeah.
And the chef, I think it was the owner, because we kind of know him, and I've never seen such a blank look on a human's face.
Right.
He was out the back, the fire exit.
Yep.
Having a cigarette, but he wasn't moving. He was like frozen in time.
Yeah.
And he was staring at nothing.
Nice.
So he was frozen, absolutely still.
Yeah.
And he was just like this photograph.
Yeah, right.
Of what's his name?
So
Rodney Graham.
So yeah, maybe in that sense it is capturing that, well, in this picture anyway, he's got that moment of.
I don't understand the upside down tree.
No.
It's kind of thrown me.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Sorry, I can't.
You can't. No.
That, to be honest.
Sorry. Let's move on. Let's move on. So, can I just read about Rodney Graham a little bit?
Yeah. Let's hear.
Okay. Rodney Graham represented Canada in the 47th Venice Biennale.
Because he was Canadian himself, wasn't he? So.
Yes. Yeah. With his film work, Vexation Island. I don't know that piece. 1997, which brought him to international recognition. He was subsequently awarded the Kurt Schwitters Prize in 2003. I can't read all these scholarships that he won. Graham was given the Ordain Prize of Lifetime Achievement in Visual Arts, British Columbia, Canada. He was appointed the Officer of Order of Canada in 2016 for his contributions to Canadian contemporary art. Oh, God, it goes on for ages. I'm not reading all of that.
No, I don't need to.
So he was very accomplished. Good for him. And we struggle with putting an exhibition on.
It does make you wonder how, doesn't it? You know, when you see things like this,
I mean, I guess it just takes being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of people tell me that, you know, and not just other artists even, but, you know, people, you know, gallerists and other people I know, you know, a couple of curators, you know. There's a lot of that to it, you know. So
let's move on to the next part of our experience at Hauser Wirth, which is the most frustrating part, was because we're struggling with this idea of like going between craft, skill.
I don't want to talk about it.
Because
I'll sit back and drink.
Okay, you drink, I talk. So the next exhibition was by a group of artists, and it was called The New Bend. And I feel like it was there was I can't ignore it, but it just feels like that there was a bit of an agenda inviting this artwork and exhibition to the gallery. I like the source material. I do like the educational side of it. I don't like their synopsis and the blurb. Of the blurb.
Right.
It bothered me immensely because I just thought it was so weak. It was so weak. And I felt like the work created was it almost it didn't respect its roots. It didn't respect the source of where it was from, and it should have. And I just found it, I'm really sorry to say this, but I found it offensive.
Oh,
really? I really did. It bothered me. And I've been struggling. I told you as soon as you came in tonight, which was a couple of hours ago, I told you I'm still bothered by it. I'm still struggling with it. Yeah. So, you know, that's just my honest opinion. I'm struggling with the exhibition, and
I can see why you might have. I can see why you might have found it offensive.
I didn't, you know, that's probably
coming from the
wrong
people.
way.
I think that
I found up. It's not really offensive, but I found it upsetting. I found it. That's the bit that upset me, was the quality of the work was upsetting.
It's not to do with artists responding to these other people that were very poor. And,
yes. So and
yet, you know, the themselves
the reference, you know, is, I should probably tell people. So,
and yet these people are still living in, you know, hardship. And where was it? Was it Africa or?
No. It's America. I would say that would have been in like America.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I can read it here. So
with the tribal, the you know, when we saw the film,
that's like the from a very poor black community of slavers.
Okay.
So this is like slave times generation of
slave
American slaves.
I see. Yeah.
And it was based actually it's recorded in Alabama, United States.
Yeah.
So the town of Boykin, also known as G's Bend, is an intimate African American community located at the arc of a bend in the Alabama River within Wilcox County, Alabama, United States.
Oh, yeah.
The location was originally named for a landowner and slaveholder of the same surname.
I forgot that. The
same surname, who in 1816 settled in the area and built a cotton plantation. Many of the residents of the area are descendants of the enslaved people, who worked on this plantation. Therefore, they carry shared family names such as Bendolph, Petway, and Young. The formation of the quilting tradition of the Gee's Bend rises out of the 19th and 20th century and carries on to the present day, where a vibrant network of collective quilters continues to grow and apply their creative practice. In the 1940s, the land of Boykin was sold in plots by the United States government to local families still living in the Bend. In a complex twist, this made it possible for the black and native residents of the area, once subject to the extractive labour and economic practices of enslavement and sharecropping, to gain ownership in part of their same land their families had once forcibly worked within. So they, what bothers me about the exhibition is just the lack of quality in it.
Right.
So the quality of these generations of black community, the quality of their quilting, far superior to this artwork.
Okay, I think I'd agree.
But when you see their quilts, you see the pattern, you see the attention, you see and that's enough and commentary.
The skill that's involved,
it's enough.
What they've put into it.
But what does let me go back to the New Bend exhibition. What does their blurb, what does their synopsis say? It goes on and on and on about technology and culture, and technology appropriating the culture and not the other way around, and trying to take back control from AI almost. And it seems like a hot topic. So we're bringing technology and AI involved in it. And all these things are made by machine, and it's not as good, right? And we're going to put in our handmade elements into these textiles and these rugs or tapestries. And we're going to mention technology.
But that, it's an interesting question. Why
is that a part of it? I don't know why.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm offended.
I mean, maybe that would have... I don't know.
But that's what bothered me.
Yeah.
That's what bothered me. The reading of... at the end of the exhibition... Or actually, the beginning of the exhibition, because we went in backwards. But, what did you... straight away, the brief that we were given to go into that exhibition was totally...
Brief?
I don't know. It was just misleading. I don't know. It's just...
A brief.
It was a brief. It was totally not important. Right. What's important was the Bend. The Bend. The location. The history.
Yeah. Do you think they were trying to do too much with the concept?
Oh, yeah. They were
Yeah.
trying very hard to make this an overly conceptual
I think that's it.
practice.
I think maybe if there was more of a connection with the Bend and the people that were within it doing their work.
Yeah.
And then maybe even working with them.
I would rather see the work of the ongoing community in that exhibition. I would much prefer it.
Yeah, I think the thing with AI and technology is still an interesting...
It's interesting, but it's not the main...
concept. But yeah, I'm not sure why they found it... I mean, maybe I'm just missing something, but I'm not sure why they introduced that into the idea as well. I think maybe I'm missing something.
So let me just read a little bit from their synopsis here of this exhibition acknowledges the work of the Gee's Bend quilters such as Sarah Benning, Missouri, mentioning people, and so many more, as central to expanded histories of abstraction and modernism. While the account of modern art engages abstraction as a critical tool of experimentation, the narrative as it has been told to date has not been inclusive of this group and the ways in which they continue to transform art history, visual culture and cultural production across localities and generations. intersecting this with the 20th century,
Right.
intersecting with the 20th anniversary of the groundbreaking exhibition, The Quilts of G's Bend, first presented at the Whitney Museum in 2002 and 2003. Each of the artists featured in the new Bend explores this legacy both in their technical approach and formal aesthetic. Was this in the room? This wasn't in the room.
It might not have been, yeah.
This wasn't in the room, because that makes much more sense than what I read in the room. The abstract and expressive modes of cutting, stitching, splicing, and remixing articulated in this exhibition as queered, performative, and editorial acts also reframe an understanding of digital, computational, mimetic, and algorithmic.
See, I'm just having trouble understanding.
Yep. That's where it was in the exhibition, but I
remember
understood
that
it up until that point. So she's doing something else. She's bringing in technology, and it just sort of threw me. And I kind of get it. All this idea of like
I think some concepts just seem to
abstract.
They can clash.
So I get this abstract modes of.
I don't know.
So this part, the abstract modes of expressive. The abstract and expressive modes of cutting, stitching, and splicing, and remixing articulated in this expression. I started to get it just then, but I started to lose it when they started talking about algorithmic.
Yeah. Yeah, you think,
why have you brought that in? Weird, man. Cultural.
I don't know.
To code. And they start mentioning code and culture to code. What does that mean?
Yeah,
the goal of.
I think it is valid. It's interesting what they're saying, but it just seems to be clashing.
Yes, it is. What I mean? I think it's a stretch. So the stretch is she's saying, don't reduce culture to code.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But expanding coding to embrace culture. I don't know whether that's... I don't know. I just don't... Why are you taking it that way? Don't take it that way. Just don't expand... Don't reduce culture to code.
Yeah.
But she's saying we should be expanding coding to embrace culture. I don't know whether that's going to...
That doesn't sound very healthy to me.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's kind of alien, isn't it? But in their co-authored essay on culture cyborgs 2020, Bennett and her collaborator, Rodney Graham, Professor blah, 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 decolonize cybernetics as a core component of ethno-computing. They said that's it, gone, read no more. What's the point?
I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Ethno-computing?
Yeah.
You mean you didn't know about ethno-computing?
I doubt very few people do, to be honest.
No, I mean, what if you looked it up?
You can try it.
So if we...
I don't want to bore anyone. This is the thing.
I think we lost everyone about half an hour ago. So, let's kind of leave it there. Ethno-computing is the study of interactions between computing and culture.
Oh, interesting.
It is carried out through theoretical analysis, empirical investigation, and design implementation.
Interactions between computing and culture.
Yeah.
Computing what, though?
I don't know. Quilts. Tapestries. Cultural artifacts.
Yeah. I mean, surely computing is just an extension of culture, though, isn't it?
In a way, it's kind of a modern culture to compute something.
I mean, if we're not careful, we can start...
Do they mean historical culture? Like a truly historical culture? Or you can't say all culture.
No.
Can you? Surely you need to define it.
Because computing, really, I mean, that's a good point, because it's only been a part of culture for what? I mean, 50 years, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, a bit longer,
much
than
longer
that. The last 100 years.
100 years, maybe.
Maybe 70.
I mean, I know, It depends how far you want to take computing. I mean, you can take it into maths and like mathematics that people there would have been a certain sense of computing.
I think it's a bit too... What the problem is that they're being a bit too broad with the word culture. I think I'd like to see some definitions here, like of what culture and whose culture and... All culture?
Yeah.
All culture. Okay, blimey. Okay. Anyway...
Yeah, I think it's another whole subject.
Yeah.
You know, I mean...
Ethno-computing. Okay, we know what it is. We can move on, never go there again. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, do you want to say anything about the new bend? Was there any aspect of it you actually liked?
Okay, sorry, I said I wouldn't be umming. So
don't
that was a really long, unnecessary
Very good.
Yeah.
So, come on.
What do I want to say about
the new bend? It was so. Stop it! It was so difficult, wasn't it? Though, wasn't it difficult to? I mean, I tried. I spoke to the guy in the room. I tried very hard to accept it.
It's one of these things when you're pushing your mind. It is very, as I was saying before, it's conceptual art. I mean, there's some craft to it, but was it really high level craft? I mean,
no, because I just felt like it was really everything was kind of really smashed together, and it wasn't. There was. I'm sure it was all highly considered production, but I mean, I just found like everything was forced together, and I just couldn't connect with it at all.
I mean, I quite like the mermaids thing, with the sequins. You know, I thought that was, you know, I mean, there was something about that. But
what? How do you get from? I still don't know the connection. Like it's. I mean, this idea of technology and ethno-computing, how do you get from that to slave, like the history of the cultural slave trade, slavers making quilts?
I mean,
just because it's textiles doesn't immediately mean that it's kind of connected. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on, Mark, because this is still bothering me.
That's fair enough.
Massively bothering me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is probably.
But we're pretty much done. We've been going for almost an hour, we've gone over by a little bit.
Sorry,
that's okay. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry
about that. Just make sure to apologise profusely. Be very British about it. Sorry.
Now.
Yeah, very sorry. No, don't, Mark. What are you doing? Stop it!
You did go on a bit too long.
It did a bit. Sorry. Okay, right. So ending on a high note, Hauser and Wirth in Somerset. I think you should try and visit it if you can. Don't go out. Don't go out. I mean, if anything, the restaurant is kind of starting to take over there. Isn't it? They've expanded the restaurant. It used to be just a little restaurant, a little room. Yeah.
I hope not, though, because I mean it's lovely little space there, but it's got to be about the art, hasn't it?
It's got to be about the art. But the farm shop and the restaurant are pretty much taken over. Everybody goes there to eat and drink and go to the farm shop and buy some very expensive asparagus.
Yeah, I guess.
Or expensive. Expensive.
I don't know. I guess
honey.
Yeah, I mean,
infused honey.
I suppose it helps, pay towards the upkeep of the place.
It's an attraction, right? I mean, the food is. I must admit, I have eaten there, and the food is amazing. And I haven't bought anything in the farm shop, but it is kind of like, this is where wealthy people go to buy groceries.
Yeah.
And
buy art.
Possibly. And buy art, maybe. I don't know whether they would sell their art.
Yeah, that's a good question.
How do they make their money? They must be selling and trading and stuff. Anyway, that's a podcast for another day.
Yeah.
So we ended our trip with a drink at the bar which was welcome. They have a very nice bookshop and some cured meats, a display of cured meats. I don't know who's eating the cured meats because it's been there forever since they produced the place. I mean, I guess it lasts forever. The cured meats.
I mean, it could just be an art installation, you know.
It could be like, those displays at the Madame Tussauds, the waxworks. It's just like fake, or like, the London dungeons where it's like fake dismembered bodies are made out of resin. Oh. And it just made me think of that, like this big display of fake meats, cured meats. Anyway, so oh god, what the hell are we going on about? Anyway, thanks. Let's put some of this on. We've got some. Why isn't that playing? Oh, have I got to turn it on? There we go. Yeah. So that's it.
So yeah, that was it for this particular exhibition. We are planning to visit a lot more galleries and do these kinds of podcasts reflecting on our travels and adventures. I don't know if you want to say anything more about that, or
I mean, we'll leave it as a surprise.
Yeah.
But we've got some more ideas for trying to make the podcast a little bit more engaging.
Exactly.
A little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
And if you found this is something you should do
some
early
nice
on.
ideas too.
Yeah.
If quite entertaining.
If you've made it to the end of our podcast, you should probably like and subscribe to the channel, because this is something I've realised that you should actually put at the front of your YouTube video.
Yeah. You can put up a little subscribe thing. It appears. You get a little bell thing.
Yeah. Do that, and we will see you.
Don't ask me though. I don't know what I'm doing with that. It's beyond me. So.
Anyway, thanks for coming out in the rain, Mark. It was very good of you. You're a big man for doing that. Because it's hard to get motivated these days. Even if the slightest thing gets in my way, I just tend to sort of curl up in a ball.
I think it's hard for anyone to get motivated these days.
Yeah,
but that's why we do what we do.
Yeah,
because we care.
We care about this podcast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our little baby.
Exactly. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
we're gonna watch it grow. We'll take care of it. We're gonna nourish it. We're gonna feed it lots of beer.
It's
gonna grow up nice and strong.
We're gonna
be great.
Feed it some doom. So, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next episode of Living Too Late.
Yes, and we'll see you then. It should be a good talk. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Come up with something interesting.
Thanks for watching.